Hi everyone, this is Creighton, and welcome to Creighton's Show. But first let me say, thank you for watching and tuning in, and as you could tell from the intro, the new cool little intro I made there, I'm going to be talking about my personal top places to eat at Universal Studios. Now, this is me speaking from a chef's point of view, but also a fan's point of view, and things like that. So now these are just my personal. These are things that I would tell my friends and family that was going for a vacation or holiday out to Universal Studios of where to go to eat. Now, before I get on that, I want to talk to you real quick about this meal deal that Universal offers. It's not worth it. The only time it would be worth it, per se, is like if you're traveling from another country and you're not familiar with American currency, and you would just rather get a card and not deal with it. That, or if you have teenagers, if like from the ages of 12 to 17, and it's like you don't want to have them coming up saying, "Oh, can I have some money?" And you. No, it's like you can just hand them this card, and then they can go get something to eat, and y'all can go separate ways, per se. Now, let me explain real quick about the meal deal so you can understand. Okay, they've got three different plans. One is where you can buy the souvenir refillable cup, which is the same exact price if you went up there to buy it. So it's like, why order it? Then they've got another one that costs $25.99. And that one, you get one quick service meal, and you get a snack and one drink. Now, that's $25.99 plus tax. Okay, so, you're looking at probably $30, $31 with, the whole thing. So, here's my thing. I've done the math and I've figured it out. You can get, if you went up there without the meal deal and say you just got the same exact thing, like a hamburger, fry, and a drink, and you went and paid for a churro, a snack as well, you're going to pay with tax, just like reaching into your wallet, $18. Now, I'm sorry, $18 versus $31. You can do the math, but I would rather just pay for it out front. And, to me, it's not worth it at all. So, I think it's just a gimmick. It's just not worth it. One iota. I wish they get rid of it and go back to the way it used to be. But it's not like that now. Things change. So, that's all I have to say. So, now let's get on to my top places to eat at Universal. Okay, and before I get started real quick, I want to tell you a few little money saving tips. So, if you have AAA, that's one way of doing it. AAA is the automotive discount card thing. It's not much, but it's $1 saved. So, if you go to the Orlando, Florida Tourist Bureau thing that they have down there, they can give you a Florida card, and sometimes, like, you can show them that card at Universal, and you'll get discounts and things like that. And honestly, sometimes if you just search online, you can print out coupons, and those would really sometimes pay off. So you just kind of got to do some online research, like Google it, like Universal Studio printable coupons and that kind of thing. Okay, so now that's being said, let's get to the top places to eat. Okay, my number 11. Alright, so I'm just going to share 11 because there's about 100 restaurants at Universal, literally. The bottom one is Cafe 4 at Islands of Adventure. Now, there's a reasoning I have this is number 4. The food is just freaking horrible. I mean, it's gross. I mean, every single time I've been in there, it was just cold, thrown together. It was, yeah. And like the atmosphere, it's supposed to be the Baxter Building, and it kind of resembles it, but the problem is it's right next to the Hulk coaster. So you hear the Hulk running the whole time. It's honestly, I'm not going to pay $10 to sit in something that looks like a cafeteria and eat cold food. I mean, just ain't going to happen. And I would suggest to anybody, just keep going, bypass it. Okay, my number 10 is the Captain America Diner, and that's at Islands of Adventure as well, and that's like right down from the Cafe 4. Now this is supposed to be, yeah, well, the food is horrible as well. I mean, it's the same exact menu as at Cafe 4. I mean, literally, it's maybe one or two things different, but it's nothing. It's like a quick service place, and the only reason it ranks up before Cafe 4 is it's a little quieter. It's quieter, and the atmosphere, it's more cheery. I mean, it's supposed to be a place where all the Marvel superheroes hang out to eat, and you know, da da da, themed after that. But I mean, but still, the food, and every time I've eaten there, it was alright, but nothing. I wouldn't. Honest to God, I just wouldn't eat there. This is just kind of, you know, not for a hamburger and hot dog. Sorry. Okay, my number 9 is Green Eggs and Ham, and that's at Islands of Adventure, and that's over at Zeus Landing. Now, every single time I've went there, and I've only been there about 2-3 times, and cause I try to give places second chances, you know, maybe it's just that one time or da 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 da, but every single time I can count on it, the eggs are cold, and the ham is just, it don't taste right, it's nasty, and it's just, even the eggs, they don't taste real, they taste powder or something. It's just kind of gross. And another thing I don't like about it is you have to eat outside, and you know, eating cold food outside to me is not a good thing at all. So I mean, it's nah, I just would bypass that one totally. Is Circus Cafe Stupendous. Say that fast. Circus Cafe Stupendous. And that's at Islands of Adventure as well. And that's in Zeus Landing. The food's okay. I've never been disappointed in it. But there's just no creativity thinking on the food aspect of it. But I mean, it's good to eat. I would tell somebody, you know, okay, it's good, you know, it's gonna be all right. And but the atmosphere is so well done. Like they have a train that actually comes through the top part of the restaurant, and the decorating of it all, it's really well done. So it makes you feel like you're in Zeus, you know, Dr. Zeus and Cat in the Hat and all that good stuff. So, but yeah, it's nice. It's fun to check out. It's cool. My number 7 is Louise Italian Restaurant. Oh my God, it's wonderful because it's the food is great. Like every time I've went in there and I've ate a meatball sub or chicken parmesan, they have pasta, everything that, well, not everything, but most of everything that's Italian food or based. Okay, and the atmosphere is great. Like if you, it's based basically off of The Godfather, literally. So when you're in there, you just get that feel of you're expecting any minute Michael Corleone or Sonny or Luca Brasi. One of them is supposed to come in the door and just start eating and talking about mob business. I don't know. It's really great. And if you look around the room where you're eating and look at the pictures, they've done so great with the details of it. So and they really immerse you in that. So if you're a Godfather fan and you like the Godfather basic legacy, that is the place. It's nothing but I have nothing but amore for it. Hey. Number 6. My number 6 is in Springfield, the Fast Food Boulevard, and that's at Universal Studios in like Springfield. But basically, you have to choose from an array of family eateries offering really some of the most famous edibles in the world, and not so famous, but dishes. But for example, like there's a place to eat, and it's called Cletus's Chicken Shack, and they serve in there Cletus's chicken and waffles, which is awesome. See, growing up in deep down south here in America, I grew up eating on chicken and waffles. So when you get to see that somewhere else that's not down in the south, like in Orlando, it's really great, and it tastes wonderful. And they have just other really, the atmosphere is really good. Like for example, when you sit down at the booths and they have TVs up, where you're sitting, and they play famous Simpson clips, and you can, while you're eating, you can watch The Simpsons actually, and the color scheme, and like there's another section that's the bar, Moe's Tavern. Oh my God, it looks just like the bar. It is awesome. And they have like another section that's a part of it. It's really great. If you even grew up watching The Simpsons or just have any little knowledge of it, even if you're not a Simpsons fan, you walk in there, you would really enjoy yourself. Very well done. Is the Three Broomsticks, which is located at the Islands of Adventure in the Hogsmeade section. Um, the food is just simply put awesome. It's excellent. I mean, if they have stuff like fish and chips, shepherd's pie, Cornish pastries, turkey legs, and fresh vegetables. I mean, it really makes you feel like you're eating in what the same exact stuff that Harry Potter. Now, I'm sure that people that live in the UK or England or across in Europe or whatever, that's not a big deal. But like, it is, but it isn't, you know. But like for most Americans and things like that, and if you're a cuisine hunter like me, this is just off the hook. Now the atmosphere is wonderful. Oh my God, it is like totally like you're sitting at the Three Broomsticks in Harry Potter. I mean, you get so immersed, and everywhere, like your eyes, it's just like a theater almost. So I would say, even if the line is long, to me, if you're a Harry Potter fan, go. And I'm not saying that because I look like Harry Potter either. My number 4 is Bubba Gump at City Walk. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, what? Okay, let me get on the food. It's really, really good, and I'm speaking from somebody that lives 10 minutes away from actual Balabatry, Alabama. Yeah, the place where Bubba Gump is based off of, which is funny because every time I go down there, I tell them, I'm like, yeah, I live 10 minutes away from the Balabatry. And you're like, what? So it's really funny when I go down there, but the food, the seafood, every time I eat it, it reminds me of home. The way they fry the shrimp to the catfish and things like that. Just be aware, it's a seafood kind of place. So you can order other things, but it's really good. And the atmosphere, it's very good. It kind of reminds me of Balabatry. It's got that wooden uh, scheme to it, and like when the servers come up to serve you, they will ask you questions about the movie. They actually, they're not like, "What do you want to eat?" No, just kind of buttholes. But they like they'll ask you questions about the movie and things like that, and they interact with you, so they make you feel really great, and it's such a fun atmosphere. I mean, it's just like, I don't know, it's like typical walking into a home in the Gulf Coast. It's just a fun, great atmosphere. So that's why it makes my number 4. Bubba Gump. Okay, my number 3 is the Hard Rock at City Walk. Now, the food is always been great. We eat there almost every year we eat there. But every time I've eaten there, I've never been disappointed. Never. Everything seems so good and fresh. Like, now it's a little bit higher up on the pay scale, but honestly, it's worth it. Just the food itself. Like I went in there and ordered a steak one time, and oh my gosh, it was great. And then every time I go in there, I order something different. So well worth it. I mean, I would say even if you're at the parks and you're like riding rides and having a good time, leave the park and go to Hard Rock to go eat lunch or dinner or something like that. You will not be dissatisfied, and the atmosphere is like, if you're like a rock music obsessive OCD, I'm so obsessed with music, like that's all you think about, and the history of rock bands and all that, the atmosphere is great because I'm not like that, but honestly, but it's just if you are, you can walk around and see guitars and drumsticks and suits and paintings and murals, things like that. It's very, very cool, and it's very, very awesome, and it's just it's a place to rock out, man. Oh yeah, as you can tell, my number 2 We're getting close to number 1, but my number 2, baby, it's the Finnegans Bar and Grill. As you can hear the music, the Irish music in the background. But this honestly is located at Universal Studios, and this is at my number 2. I could say, for one, it's a full service restaurant. 2, the food is unbelievable. It is so authentic to Irish food, and the reason I say that, not only as like a chef, excuse me, but a someone whose grandmother, who we call Big Mama, she every year when she was still able to, and she was alive, she would make Irish beef stew. And growing up, I didn't think nothing about it until now. But like when I go there, I order the Irish beef stew. Oh my God, and it reminds me of her so much of that, what we would eat. And plus, I got a little Irish in me, you know, Southern redneck Irish. But anyway, but it's just, the food is just absolutely wonderful. If you go in there and you sit down at that place, you will not be disappointed, and the atmosphere is great. It's got that dark the dark woods. The color scheming is great. Sometimes they'll have a live Irish band playing as well, and that is so much fun. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful place. Got to go there. My number 1, that's right folks, it's Monster Cafe at Universal Studios. Now I know what you're thinking, like, what? There's a reasoning. Okay, 1, the food, it's good. Okay, it's nothing terribly like bad. Okay, it's really good. They give you well portion size meals. Like I go in there and get the lasagna, and I get a huge portion, and I'm kind of a bottomless pit kind of guy. So it'll fill you up. But really, why it makes, my number 1 is the atmosphere, the scenery of it. See, I'm a big horror person. I love scary and horror, and you get especially to the classics. And when you walk in, like the doors on the side, you walk through there's an electric chair there, and off to the right you see Frankenstein, and then off to the left you see the Wolfman, but they're full size figures in like this glass case. It looks just like them. Oh my God, it's wonderful, and it's really a feast for the eyes. As you walk around, like you sit down and eat, but after you're done, you just walk around the restaurant, and you'll see little details on walls and the pictures, and it's such a living history of classic American scary movies, and that's why it makes my total number 1. So that's why it makes it. Okay, so thank you for watching. I'm planning on going in October to Universal. When I go to Universal, I'm going to be going mainly for Halloween Horror Nights, but I'm going to do it during the day too, and I'll be there for like 3 days, which will give me plenty of time to videotape. It'll be like a weird, cheap reality show. But and when I go down there as well, I'm going to go to Disney for about 2 days. And I'm going to see what I can find and that kind of stuff down there. So, now next week, I'm going to talk about shopping at Universal Studios. I'm really going to get on that, about showing you how to get more bang for your buck. Because, see, I was a picker. Before I started doing this, I would be a vintage toy and antique picker. So, it's kind of like once you're a picker, you're always a picker. But I'm going to show you simple little ways to save money, and you can get pretty good hauls, you know, for that way you won't be spending astronomical amounts of money for, you know, SpongeBob or something, you know. So, but, and I know there will be some pretty cool places, you know, for you to check out as well. I'll probably throw in a few other little hidden gems that are like in City Walk and, you know, Universal, things of that nature. But till then, thank you for watching, and I had fun, and I will see y'all next week. So thank you. See you later. Bye.